Oracle SOA suite. So I worked in Oracle 10G, 11G, 12C, OIC. I worked in Jailbhumi also. And from last 3 years, I am working in Mule. Okay. So this is my brief description. Hope you will enjoy the session. This will be mainly from beginner to a bit medium. The reason I already told, so I'll explain it again. Sanjali, will you covering another 2 slides?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Then you can
Thank
take. Yeah. So let's cover these points first. Safe harbor statements. Both speakers and organizers are here with their own capacity and not representing any of the organization or company. So speaker is only sharing his or her knowledge and is not responsible if the same product here is MuleSoft doesn't work for your company. And please make all the design decision by understanding what is currently available in the MuleSoft product. We all are here to learn together and the motto is same. We need to learn together. Some housekeepings. A recording of this meetup will be uploaded to events page within 24 hours, and questions can be submitted asked at any given point in time in the chats and Q&A tab. Make it more interactive and give us feedback. Rate this meetup session by filling feedback form at the end of the day. So once this meetup is done, you will receive a mail on the registered email ID. So there you can put your comments, what you liked, what you didn't, and what you want us to bring in the next meetup that you can provide. So we love feedbacks. It's bread and butter for our meetup. Next is agenda. Yeah. So Shampa, you can take this up. I'm stopping the sharing.
Okay. So let me share. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So before starting, I just need to know, I know few of the guys who are experienced enough, and I just want to know the rest of the audience. Just want to know the experience band. You are beginner or year of experience, whoever is there, just mention the experience so that I can get an idea. Please feel free so that I can cover the topics accordingly. Okay, Anjali has written, I know. List others. So here's continue. Okay, all right. So I'll be starting from the very basic. Okay, fresh college graduate starting my career. Okay, okay, great. I just someone. Okay, all right. So thank you for all your response. Okay, so definitely whenever we start a topic, I want to start from the very basic so that we can go to the advanced level. So most of the things I'll be discussing now in this slide, you may be aware. Okay. But when I will be starting my demo, I think that's time it will be more enjoyable. Okay. So, whoever is there currently in the who is just started your career. Okay. So, can you tell me what is an web service? See, please don't mind. I just want to make it interactive because I don't like just talking myself and all will be silent. If all are can unmute themselves.
No, actually, I need to provide them the
Yeah, yeah.
permission.
Can you please?
Sure.
Okay, so anyone want to speak up? What is web service? All right, seems everyone want to be silent. Okay. So as you know, web service is nowadays very common. I mean, any application which is available in the internet and you can communicate through it is considerably a web service, right? So web service can be in any language. It can be in Java, it can be in other language, and Mule, as you know, is based out of Java only. Okay, so the it is on behind the scene, though you are not working in Java, but behind the scene it's Java only. Okay, so right now it's very easier to do a web service, right? But when you started our career, it was not that much of simple. So you need to put effort, and at that time the middleware concept itself is not there. So what middleware does, or mule, I mean this type of tool which is middleware or mule, soa delbumi, what type of the activities this tool does is, this is like kind of a bridge. So whenever two application cannot communicate with each other directly, but you want your data to be exchanged to that system or application, you should require a middleman, right? That you need to require a middleman who can do your job. Suppose to whom you can send data or who can get data from you and change the data according to your need, according the end application need, and then post your message so that you need not to do your job manually, right? And this saves lots of time. So Mule, then any other middleware technology is basically working like this. Now, these middleware technologies exposed web service in internet so that you can send data from your source application to target application. Now, depending on the nature of the API, some may be accessible from internet, some may not be accessible from internet publicly. Some is maybe polling data, so you cannot share with other applications. So there may be many criteria according to the need. Now, while creating web service, we mainly do it in majorly currently whichever is popular. Initially, it was SOAP, and now along with SOAP, the REST has come, right? So REST is an architecture style which is over internet. SOAP is also, I mean, through HTTP. SOAP is also through HTTP. But if you see later, you will be able to see that SOAP service is basically not simple. SOAP service is based out of XML, but REST you can do through CSV, you can do through JSON, you can do through other communication, other messaging pattern also, right? So that's why, and SOAP is very much structural. I mean, you need a follow a particular pattern to do your SOAP service. Okay. Now, currently, who is managing the standard of SOAP, right? You can see what is the acronym of SOAP. It is basically Simple Object Access Protocol. Currently, we are using SOAP 1.2, 1.1 both. But from SOAP 1.2, actually, this full form is not used anymore. But still, we use the acronym. Okay. So it's the protocol that says the standards and everything is maintained by these W3 schools, which is World Wide Web Consortium, right? If you go to W3 schools website, you will able to see each and everything is explained there. Okay. So those who are a beginner and want to run what is XML, what is SOAP service, what is WSDL, W3 schools will be your primary things where you will be able to learn it one by one. And there you can test your samples, you can create your sample XSD and you can test that. So that is a very good website to learn. Okay. So now I'll be right. If you do a plain XML, it is only the message that we pass, right? But if you do a SOAP service, it will have usually four parts. One is your envelope, one is the header, one is the body, and another is the fault handling part. REST doesn't have fault handling part. You need to do it manually if you want to implement it. Now suppose I am differencing with a plain XML and a SOAP. So suppose you have an envelope, you are sending a letter to someone. So I know these days we are not sending letters, but when we used to do that, there are two ways, right? One is you can use postcard, one is you can do envelope. So you need to tear the envelope to get the message. So SOAP service is like that. First you need to tear the envelope, then you will get the actual message. And rest is your postcard. So you are writing something so which is visible to everyone. Now definitely depend on the encryption and now internet security, you will not able to read that message. But I am just giving you an example, okay? So that you can understand that what is the basic pattern differences. One is plain and another is having some cover up, okay? So if you can see, this is a simple plain SOAP message where I have just outlined few things. So I'll be showing everything in demo. So I'm just giving an overview here. So you can see here there is a SOAP envelope, right? Now, if you can see, can anyone tell me that what is this XMLNS colon SOAP? If anyone have idea. Okay, guys, if you know, please tell me.
We got the comments. It's
Mhm.
namespace.
Yes, namespace. I can't see actually the chat because my screen is shared. Yes, namespace. Now, why this namespace is used, right? So, suppose you are sending letter to someone, right? So you will have some address, otherwise the letter will not be delivered. So SOAP service or SOAP XML is very much structured. That means you are using some SOAP colon envelope. Now, where is this envelope is defined? You need to give that address to here. Suppose www.w3.org, which I say is the W3 school. They are defining this, all the tag you can see here, envelope, header, body, fault, all those are defined here. Okay. So if you don't give this namespace, then you will not able to resolve this, right? So instead of SOAP, you can give your name also instead. Okay, this is the namespace. It is just locally you are define it. You can give SOAP envelope, you can give ABC, you can give anything. Okay, but this envelope should not change. This URL should not change. Here, this name can change, this name can change. And once you change it, you can appropriately change the all other, right? So this is the main interesting things of SOAP message that you can give here. It is means you are giving a nickname, okay? But the actual person is residing here. So if you don't give this your internet or the networking tool, messaging tool will not be able to resolve it and it will fail. Okay. Now what we have normally in header part. So this what I just told you is there in this sheet. Okay. So header element is what? Header element is mainly there are some instruction that this message should follow. Usually we keep here some authentication, right? Web service security authentication. Suppose which is not supported by REST. So SOAP is very popular with web service security, and there the authentication detail will be going encrypted here under this header. Okay. So this header is optional. Okay. You may have it, you may not have it. You can do some basic authentication also with HTTP header, not only SOAP header. You can do HTTP header basic authentication. You can do web service security. If you do web service security, that you must pass through this SOAP header. Okay. Next part, the body element. So right now, whoever is doing the REST service has not done the SOAP service yet. You know that you are sending your message directly, right? In Postman or any other tool, you are sending your message directly. So here in SOAP, you cannot send your message directly, right? You need first an envelope, you can see, then header optionally, and then the body part. So this body part is your message. Now, within this body part, whatever you are defining, is your customized data. Okay. So in this line, you can see the XML namespace soak is basically the URL. This you cannot change. But within the body, if you see this get price, right? This is currently defined in W3 schools because I have taken the examples of W3 schools because that is the standard and that is who is providing the standard. But when I will show you example, you will able to see you are the person who will be customizing this data because whatever you are defining may not be there in W3 schools, right? That will be your own message. So there you can keep your body, which will be your actual message, which you are transforming and you are sending to your end application, right? So till now, any question, guys? Please ask me if you have any question. Anjali, you can check the chat if someone is asking any question.
Sure. Till now, there is no question
Okay.
as of now. Please ask, guys. Make it more interactive.
Yes, yes. I actually don't like to talk myself only. Okay. So if you have any doubt, please ask. Okay. Now, as I told that there is a fault part also. Suppose you sent a message to somewhere, there is some business error happened. This fault handling part give you the exact error that had happened. Right now through REST service, this option is not there. If something is happening, it will come as a separate error message, but you need to configure it manually, whatever way you can configure. But SOAP is giving you an option where there is a SOAP fault. You can add your fault code, customize fault code, and you can send your fault string. You can map your whatever error has happened, you can map your fault string here. Okay. Okay. Now, before come to this WSDL part, so I guess you don't have any questions. Now I can start this then. So guys, anyone, I mean, apart from the experienced one who are 2 years, 3 years experience, have you worked with WSDL till now? Anyone? So I will actually will not show only this slide. Side by side, we want to show you the sample WSDL also, so that it will be easier for you to grab. Let me just, I'm just stopping my screen and I'm searching and making ready of one. Okay. Okay, I have it now. One. Okay. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So WSDL is nothing but how your service you have defined. So as and when a subservice is exposed in net or internet, you will able to see the WSDL file. Now, how we define the REST? Suppose REST is resource based, right? So if you want to access a REST service, you need to know what is the base path. Then you need to know what is the resource path. Suppose you want to create employee or you want to reach employee. So your after your base path, you need to give your resource path as well, right? But in SOAP, it works a bit different, right? So once you deploy your service in your application and it is available to internet, anyone can see your WSDL. Your WSDL is the structure that will tell you, okay, what this web service is doing. Okay. So first, this is nothing but a web service definition language. So there should be definition at the very beginning. Now I will come to all this one by one later so that you can understand why we need this, why we are doing this. Okay. These things are important. Okay. After that, you will have a type section. Type means when I show you that this is my WSDL body. Okay. So let me go to SOAP UI and try to export a SOAP service. Then it will be more easier to understand. Okay. So SOAP UI is a very, I mean, what I say, very strong tool to test WSDL to test web service. It will, once you load your WSDL, it will give you everything you need. Okay. You can give your URL which is exposed in the public internet, or you can browse from your internet. Okay. So at the time being, I have it in my local. I also deployed it in the internet, but I saved the project, it gone. Okay, so just let me allow me to times. Okay. Okay, you see, once I added it in my project or in my SOAP UI, it's automatically created my what are the operation I am defining. How is my message type? What is my message type? Okay, you see, it's automatically populated. Okay, these things is not at this moment is not possible in Postman. Okay, because Post is also is very I mean is for REST service mainly it was built. Okay, so you can say this is your body, this is header as I told optional, this is your envelope. So you can see they name it as SOAP envelope, and after that this is your W3 school schemas envelope, and then uh, this is something that we have defined. Okay, I'll come to here later, and this is my body part. So this is my operations. Okay, and after that this is all this is my body part, this is my operation, and this is my body part. Whatever message I have defined is present here. So this is my type part in this WSDL. So based on what you are defining in your type, based on this XSD, now after I explain this WSDL, I will come to XSD. You can see your message has been generated. Okay, all right. So now once you have your type, that how you are referring, so I am showing you quickly this sheep.xsd, and I will come how I write this and what are the things you need to keep in mind to import XSD. This type you can do in two ways. One is you can define all your elements here only, body parts, I mean whatever you can see here. Okay, you can define here, or else you can import it. Okay, with another schema file. Now benefit of, if your schema is very small, okay, you can do it in WSDL file itself. But when your schema, because for all enterprise customers, one schema is very much interrelated with many schemas. So sometimes when we used to work with SOA, we saw one AIA structure schema is actually pointing to 10 to 15 schema files. So it is not possible to define 10 to schema file in your WSDL file, and that will be very difficult to manage. That is the reason we put our schema file separate and then we import it, right? Now, after we import it, there is a message type. Message types means how many type of body, okay, I'll be sending to my service. What are the message I can send, whether it is a shipment, request, shipment response, it can be you are canceling the shipment, all those message will be defined here. Now if I go to this shipment order XSD, let me go to this shipment order XSD. Okay, so you can see this is my XSD. So here also you can see there is a namespace called XS. Anyway, like the way you can modify your SOAP envelope to anything, the namespace prefix, this is called usually the prefix. Okay, so this prefix you can name it anything. So, but whatever you are defined exactly in this place, you need to refer that everywhere. Now, this XSD or this XML schema or W3 school by default gave you this string, then it will give you the decimal, number, boolean by default. You need not any customized things to do it. Okay. So if you see, I have defined one message element, which is ship order. Okay. Within the ship order, I have a complex type. Why is the complex type? Because I am defining many more fields within this ship order. Okay. So this will be my one of my message in this WSDL. So if you see, I have defined a message, I have named it here, and I am referring it to from this XSD. Now tell me how this WSDL will understand that this ship order I am referring from this XSD. Anyone have answer? How do this XML knows that this is my XSD I need to refer for this message? Anyone in the chat can answer me this?
You can look at the chat. They are answering, Shilpa.
Okay. By operation name? No, not at this moment. Binding? No. Namespace? Yes. Very good. Namespace. So if you see in this XSD, how I was referring all my element using the prefix of XX, which is defined where? Here. But if you see in this WSDL, I am referring this ship order not with XX, not with WSDL, but I am defining with something else prefix, which is TS. You can give it anything, doesn't matter. Okay. So where is my TS? This is, okay. XML namespace this. Now what is this? This is the target namespace of this XSD. So if you go to this XSD, you will see target namespace this. So with this namespace TX or whatever I am defined here, definitely I need to use everything. Once I define here, I cannot change anything else. So if I define TS, if I define my name Shampa dot ship order will work, no problem. So this TS is telling me that okay, for this message, please go to this XSD. You see, I have imported this XSD with the target namespace of this. This should match. Otherwise, your XSD will not be resolved. If you are using something else here and you are coming to an WSDL, you are giving something else here, it will never be matched. Now suppose instead of one XSD, I am just copying it here. I have imported another here. Okay. So both the XSD, I have the same shipment order. This tag, I have both the XSD, but the message is different. So how do I know that which shipment order I need to refer? Through that target namespace only. So the target namespace of that XSD that I'll be importing will be completely different than this. And when I'll be importing that XSD or WSDL here, I'll be define their own target namespace. And in the header level of WSDL definition, that prefix must be present and I will be referring with that. Suppose I am giving it TS, I am giving it ABC. So if I give a message of like this, namespace message ABC, okay, and here suppose I am defining another one import, okay. So ideally it should be under this import only. I forgot the syntax. So if you see now here you need to change your, suppose that will be ABC dot dot, okay. Now your namespace here you need to again import here. You need to give suppose ABC. So now this so definitely the same name cannot be there. You need to give suppose something else. Now you can see now this message will be referring to a different XSD. So give me this one. Okay. Shipment order one, not from this shipment. So these are very crucial when you are doing with WSDL and XSD. If you mess with this, it will not work. Okay, if you try to import your WSDL, if you write it manually, and if you try to import your WSDL, if you're doing something wrong here, your WSDL will not be imported. Okay, now suppose instead of this, so this message part is there. Now suppose instead of this message I want to define another element. So what should I will do? Suppose I have a ship order, I should have a cancel order also, right? So suppose I will be copying this, or okay, in my XSD already this cancel order section is there. So you see, so the element cancel order, so I will have another element which will have cancel order. I can put n number of elements as I want. Currently, I have given only the order ID. I mean, from the source, only order ID will come and it will then cancel the order. Okay. So how I will refer this cancel order element? Anyone tell me? Currently in this XSD, my cancel order element is not present. Tell me how I will refer it. Anyone? So what happens over internet? It means it is speaking from local address target URL. Okay. So Gundeep, there are two things. So when you will expose your service over the internet, when someone wants to consume your service, definitely you can do it in two ways. You can give them the local file, or you can give them the URL that is deployed in your server. If your server, if your source system is capable of read that WSDL from internet and able to structure it, then the source system will able to can use the one which is exposed over the internet. I'll show you that. If that is also part of the demo. But suppose your source system doesn't have that much of capability, it cannot parse from the internet. Then you can share your local file, which will be exact the replica of your one that is you deployed in the server. But the main catch is this service thing. So I'll come to here, okay? That how actually your service, your local service or your source system will understand that where I need to hit to get my work done. Okay, that I'll come to here. So, okay. So anyone answer me how I can, how I, if I want to add this cancel order in my WSDL, how I'll do that? Currently, I don't have that in my WSDL. So my, even if my XSD, it is showing that I can do a cancel order also, but my WSDL, it is not present. Am I able to do it? Even if the XSD is referred here. Can you tell me? I'll be able to do it. Include namespace in header, TS cancel order, namespace. Yeah, so the actual answer should be you need to define a separate message type of cancel order here. Okay. So if I name it as cancel order, and this namespace, the hot element of cancel order. So how I want my body to be look like when I'll be doing cancel order. So I'll go here, I'll copy this element, okay, and I'll put here, I'll name it as, I can name it as request, there is no problem, okay, because this will be individual things under the operation. So this name can be duplicate, okay. Now, once I do my cancel order here, but I have not added my operation, right, as a cancel order. So how I will do it? Now, first time when I am doing my ship order, you see, I have created a port type. Now, what is port type in WSDL? Port type in WSDL nothing but is define how many operation and what are the input and output type you are having. There can be many port types, okay, in your WSDL. You can define many port types, and then you can select that which port type you want to refer actually in your bindings, okay. You may have a big WSDL where you have defined all your port types and you don't want that everything to be exposed at a time, and based on that you can do that. So you can see this port type is there. This is again, you can give any name, okay. These are any name you are putting here is your is as per your choice. Choice means you should definitely make them understandable so that user can understand what you are doing. So now you see, I have given an operation name of shipping. Now, why I have again used this WSDL colon operation? The reason is this operation, this message, this binding, everything is defined under these W3 schools. Okay, where is my WSDL? Yes, these definitions. Okay, here, this one. Okay. So whatever I am using under which is already defined under W3 schools is actually I'll be referring through WSDL, or you can give again any name. As I told you, prefix doesn't matter. Matter what is giving your WSDL. Okay, your URL, sorry. Your URL matters from where you are giving the reference. So your address should be correct. You can give any nickname. Okay. Now this is your operation. So you are defining your operation here and you are giving the input and output message. That if you see here, so this is my input. So once I hit this service, you will able to see that how the output will be looking like. Okay. So ship order, then operation, then now I am referring this ship order request. Okay. From this WSDL file. Now tell me why I haven't give WSDL here, I have give ordered here. Why I have given this? The reason is this I have defined custom in my WSDL file. Okay. And how I have defined it, this is my target namespace of my WSDL. So whenever I am referring something which I have created here, I need to refer as per the new namespace. I cannot use WSDL. I cannot use this TS. Where is this TS? Because TS is for shipment order and this is my custom that I have defined. So whatever prefix I am giving here, it should be matched with the one I am defined here. Okay. So if you see, this is my target namespace. Okay. And this my target namespace is ship to order. You can see there is a bit different. One is ship order, actually, which is for XSD, and for WSDL it is ship to order. So this is my target namespace of my WSDL. That means whatever I am defining custom here, I should name it with my name, not the WSDL name, not the XSD name. Okay. And when you are define the target namespace, definitely you cannot give the target namespace. You need to give a prefix so that you can refer it. So this where is I have given the prefix. Okay. So if you see, so any question till now, are you understanding? Shyam, I will come to your point. So because I am running out of time, I guess I have many things to show till now. Okay. So secure part, both are secured presently. Okay. There is no things of security because you know in the point of internet security right now, everything is encrypted. You have your VPN channel, you have your security channel, you are doing HTTP over it, right? So whenever you are exposing your service with SSL layer, even if it is a REST, even if it is a SOAP, everything is secured. Initially, when REST was not there, SOAP was used, SOAP protocol was used, right? So this is a protocol which is also very secure. SOAP also need to be SSL, right? So you cannot have a things without SSL. So both are secured, but as the technology evolve, right? We are evolving. So we are coming from a very structured things to a non-structured things. Now a developer need not to understand what is XSD, what is WSDL. A newcomer developer, I hardly said they are even there, they doesn't know what is this. If you tell someone to create an XSD, they will not able to do. If you tell someone the WSDL, they will not able to do, right? Because they day by day our development is becoming very much easier, right? If there are multiple namespace which we can refer, okay. So that's what I was explaining, Shubham. So you need to know, suppose I am defining my ship order. So there will be one target namespace only. So if I go to ship order, you will see I have defined one target namespace, this one, right? So whenever I want to refer my XSD, I need to take care of this namespace. Am I making sense? So I need to define all the addresses here with the prefix. So for this XSD shipment order, this ship order, TS is my namespace. So any attribute I want to refer, any element I want to refer from this ship order, XSD, I need to use this prefix. Okay. Anything which is already defined within this WSDL definition, this means here I need to use, this WSDL definition means this one, this W3 school recommend standards. I need to use WSDL, which are types, message, port types. These are structure, default structure. You cannot change it. After that, you are define your own message right here. That how many this you need to customize. But here you have defined it. Your W3 schools doesn't know that you have defined something ship order request. So how you will refer it within your WSDL? You need to define a target namespace for your WSDL also. So this is your target namespace for your WSDL. And this is the prefix to read it. So whatever you are defining within your WSDL, which is your customized one, you should use the prefix that you are defining later. Is it clear, Shubham? Yes, okay, thank you. Now my port is done. That okay, what are the operation I am doing here? Okay. Now if you see, I have created another for cancel order, right? Okay. Now what I can do, I can create another operation here. I can name it as a cancel order. Okay. And the request of this cancel order is basically the message name is this. So I'll referring with this message name. I have not defined any output. So you may not define any output. It's not mandatory that you need to define the output. If it is output, definitely it is a synchronous service. If you don't have output, it is a asynchronous service. You can define fault as well. As I told, you can define fault as well, fault service. So now your two operation is done. Now, what is binding? Binding is the main thing which is actually binding with your operations. Okay. Now, here you are defining, okay, what is my input and what is my output. So this is your text mode. So we have done certain scenario initially. SOAP's REST service was also done by the REST. Okay. In that case, the envelope was not done. I mean, right now we don't do that, but there is some option that I don't want my SOAP service as an envelope. I don't want that body. It will work as a XML, and that can be done through this. Okay. So this binding is defined. This is a SOAP order. What type of document it is? What is the documentation style? What are the operation you are tagging here? Okay. Now binding again will have the port tagged with it. So you can see this is the port. Okay. Ship to order. If I name it as a port, so it will be understandable, I guess. So this is the port. So your binding should have your port. That means it is defining that how many operations I have defined. Okay. So this is my shipping operation. I can give another operation here. Okay. To just define that how many operation I actually want to expose. It may be possible you have defined many operations, but you don't want to expose all of them. That is can be doable from here. Okay. Last part is service. Now I'll come to here the difference between Oracle SOA and a MuleSoft. If I delete this part, that means your definition is done. Okay. So what your service is doing, your definition is done. This is called abstract wisdom. Okay. When there is no service. If you do SOAP integration in Mule, if you don't give service, Mule will not accept it because Mule is mainly created for API based REST service. Okay. So they have option to create SOAP service. They have option to consume SOAP service. But Mule as a tool has some limitation because they are giving more emphasis on REST service only, not SOAP service. So if you work with other tools, suppose Oracle SUA tool, if you define your service, if you don't give this service section, it will be easily able to expose your service, and after the deployment, it will be automatically creating this service part. Just give me 1 minute. So what this service is doing, this is again a name. This name will be, I'll show later where you are used. This can be same, guys. One thing, this name can be same or you can give a different name. Okay. But you need to know that what is this. This you can name it as a port just for confusion. People may get confused who are new. Okay. So this is your port. This is your service. Okay. Here you see, sorry, within service, what we are defining? We are referring this binding. So when I am exposing my service, I am telling the internet that I am exposing these many operations. So if you invoke my service, I am giving you shipment. Suppose I am giving you shipment cancel. All are defining. So my service is ready to give you this binding. So if in your service you have suppose two bindings, you may have. There is no rule that you cannot have. So, and while exposing your service, you are defining that, okay, please read this binding only. Then your service will be referring only those operations which are related to this binding. Now, what is this? This location. This is your actual location. So suppose when you deploy something in Cloud Hub, so you have a Cloud Hub URL, then you have your base, and then you have your application name, then you have your base URL, correct? So, sorry, your resource path. But here in location, when it will be deployed, how will be deploying? So it will give you a service path and it will give a port. Okay, that you will be only deploying. So I will show you once I deploy it. Okay. So I hope WSDL is clear. Anyone have any question regarding the WSDL? Do you have any limitation of SOAP XSD data? There is no limitation. There is no limitations. Okay. SOAP is very much structured. One, you understand what is SOAP. Then there are certain tools which make your life very much easier with SOAP service. Okay. So now we came to WSDL. We have done through WSDL. Now if I go to here, so just show you, I think I already have created one WSDL which are both operations. Okay. Just let me show you. All right, so you can see I have created one message, then is a response, then is a cancel order. Okay. Okay, then a cancel order message, and I have a in the port type, you see I have defined ship order and cancel order, and you can see the response I have reused. So this message I have reused in my operation. So whatever operation you are defining here, you can reuse that as well. It's not that for every operation you need to have a new message. It's not. Okay, that is the beauty of SOAP service, that and with the XSD, that you can reuse. You need not to repeatedly do it again and again. So you can create a common structure which you are thinking you will be using in each and every operation. You can just refer that. So this same operation you see, same message type I have used here twice. After that, you have your binding where you have two operations, ship order and shipment cancel, and then we have the service. So now if I go to here, so I already prepared the API because I know I'll not get time, but I'll show you how to create a SOAP service. File, new, mule project. Let me use the convention. So now here, you don't see anything like to import an WSDL, right? So that is, I think, also we will need to improve. So here in the RAML section, right, if you do REST service, you definitely import your RAML. RAML is also the, you can compare RAML with your WSDL, okay? So like the RAML, you are defining your, how many endpoints it will be, how many resource path you are keeping, that means how many operation you are keeping. So you can refer that, okay? So in a RAML, you are defining your resource path separate. So refer the same thing with operation here, okay? Different operation. Within your RAML, you are giving your data types, or suppose you are just giving one example. So that is your message types, okay? And so those you need to be take care. So if you go with RAML and if you refer with your local system, now one more thing is, whenever you are referring your WSDL, you make sure the XSD which is referring in this WSDL can refer from the path. Suppose I am coming here. So suppose this is my WSDL. Why there is no path? Because I have kept the XSD in the same location. You may refer it from an internet also. Suppose it is having somewhere, you are giving the URL and you are referring it. You can suppose refer it from a separate folder. Suppose you have a XSD folder within your local folder, or within that you kept your XSD. So this need to be referred from the particular location. It's not that if you doesn't put your paths correctly, the WSDL will not able to refer it, and your WSDL will not work. Okay. So currently, if you see this WSDL, and I think I don't know which XSD I referred. I think this one. So let me just open it. So if you see, as soon as my WSDL is referred, it's take my service name, it's take my port name. Okay. I am not referring the one which I just modified here, guys. Okay. Which I have changed here, right? Which one? I think this one. Okay. So this one I am not referring. Otherwise, you could see the port name as this. Okay. So this is which was my local that I am referring on. Okay. I don't want to edit it. Otherwise, maybe something else. So if you see, if your WSDL is proper, you will, this service and port will be automatically reloaded. If your WSDL is not correct, this will not be loaded. So if I finish here, you will see it will be scaffolding according to the operation. So the way you have a API router, API kit router, same you have a SOAP kit router. Okay. So you see now ship order and cancel order both has been created separately, and there are default transform message here. So you can see by default the response output is created and it is referred as SOAP fault. Definitely you can delete it, you can modify it as per your need. Now, someone may think that, okay, it is very difficult to do a SOAP mapping. I need to handle with namespace. I need to do with many things. How I will understand which namespace I should use here. So those may will be difficult for some of you. So there is an option to do that. So suppose you are defining your output type here, okay? So I'll only define something. So I'll show you that one, okay? So we will save our time, because I still have something to show you. So I am just showing you that how we can scaffold it. Okay. So I guess I created, yeah, self-service demo. Same WSDL I have loaded here. Okay. Same way my operation has been created, and I just modified the transformation. Okay. So give some time to just resolve it. Okay. So whenever you are doing your mapping, so if you can see this demo space, you need to define. Normally, we don't do it through REST service because REST service doesn't have anything called namespace, right? So if you see here in your message, first is soap envelope and then the prefix has created ship. Now you may tell that there I have selected TS, why is ship here? So this is completely depend on the tool you are doing. This can create a different prefix as long as your URL is correct. So if you see in my XSD, the message type of this body is target namespace is this one, if you can remember. So this should be correct. What you are defining here doesn't matter. You can change it as per your need. Okay. Now, once suppose I have mapped here already. So if you see, you can import your input here. You can import your XSD here, or you can import your XML, normal XML file. So if you want that, okay, I don't know what will be by namespace. Okay, you can just define here, and it will create automatically. It will be creating your output structure, and you just need to map it. Okay, so if you map it, automatically it will be created. You need not to write manually. But yeah, those who are expert enough, they can write manually as well. Okay, so what this service is doing, I am just exposing it, and then it will give you a response. Okay, so suppose if I now run here. Give me just 1 minute. I have imported it in, I have deployed in one of the account also. Okay, so I am opening it, opening the Cloud App account. I will show you this one also. Okay, just I'm stop sharing on a minute. I'll be sharing it again. Okay, I am logged in now. So, okay, are you able to see my Anypoint platform?
Yes, Shampal.
Okay, so the same way, suppose I deployed here in local. Okay, just to show how it looks like in server. Okay, you can run from local, or if you can see, I have deployed here. Okay, so this is my cloud of URL. Okay, so if I open it, you will see nothing is there, right? Oh, I forgot to give the path. Okay, I need to give the service and the binding. 1 minute. I saved that somewhere. 1 minute. Huh? I'm checking the path and I'm giving you.
Shrampa, are you sharing your screen?
Yes,
Okay.
so you are able to see?
Yeah, now it's
Okay.
visible.
So once I deploy my service in the Cloud Hub, you can see this is now my WSDL. Okay. So first of all, this is my Cloud Hub path, which is my public endpoint. And after that, if you can see for API, you used to give the resource path after that, right? But here, first, it will give your port name and service name. Okay. So you can see this is first of your binding. Okay, this is your binding. Okay, and then this will be your port number. Okay, so port binding. Within that, you have your, now this is a catch here. Okay, MuleSoft, the thing is that in MuleSoft, if you do it through suppose SOA service or OIC, any other product of apart from Mule, you will able to see here the same path here. Okay, instead of localhost colon 8181, you will able to see the same thing. But here why you will not able to see is because Cloud Hub by default after the deployment, it is generating your link later. So it cannot refer it. So there is a limitation. But suppose when you are consuming this service from a third party, if you are giving localhost clone 8081, definitely that will not work, right? I will show you so how to change that. So this is your WSDL. So anyone can download it, anyone can refer it, okay? And if I suppose test this service here, so this will be my address, okay? Instead of localhost, I need to give my API name, base URL, then the port name, then the binding, okay? So now if I go here, if I give the path, okay? And suppose if I test to ship order, give me some order ID, suppose 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And rest of the things I actually didn't mapped just for reference. And if I hit it, you'll see you are getting a response. Okay. So order ID and then success. So here you can refer this response message. And this order ID and response message will exactly match whatever is there in my XSD. You see this ship order response, order ID status, order ID status. Okay. I have, I think, map here. So it's not that only defining, you need to map it also. Okay. Otherwise it will definitely, I have mapped this order ID and status here, and definitely the application that takes me. Okay. So now my service is now exposed in the internet. Done that your soap service is now in internet. Now suppose you want to consume that soap service through MuleSoft. Okay, then what you will do? So a soap service consumer for that. So you will come here. So I already done it. Okay, so I have a listener which will take the JSON file. This service is REST service, but within that I am consuming a SOAP service. So this is my shipment. I have given a path, resource path is ship. This is similar if you can compare with SOAP edition. Okay. Now this is my time doing is first I am consuming it. Now you see how I am. Okay. So first I need to give this WSDL. Now there are two scenarios here. You can give from this here in your internet post, but Muse actually mainly focused on API based REST, not on SOAP service. So if you give this, what will do? It will not able to refer this WSDL. The reason is here, as soon as I deployed it, if you see when I created this SOAP service, under the API, when I imported the RAML, under the API, where is that? My XSD and WSDL has been imported. Okay. Now, what is showing my XSD location is localhost. This localhost is local to Cloud Hub, not your localhost. So, if someone is trying to refer it with localhost, and if it is not present, suppose here, then you will not able to resolve this WSDL. Okay, you will not able to resolve this WSDL, and your service will not be deployed. Am I making sense? You are able to understand because within your WSDL you are referring this XD. You are referring this XSD, and in MuleSoft it is showing Cloud Hub. Ideally, this path, then this. Okay, so if I do this, so that is why if you load this WSDL through internet, it will not able to resolve. So what I did is, suppose someone is already exposed your service over the internet, you ask the WSDL from him, and you ask the necessary XSD that is referring in that WSDL. So you save it in your local, okay, and then you refer from local. So see, I have created a folder called API, and within that I have referred this WSDL from my machine. That means it will be within your folder, and this service and this port should be automatically populated. Now this address section. If you see normally once upon a time when of service with other tool instead of a local host. So since your cloud hub is this, so you need to first copy this, and this is your sub service details. So you need to copy paste this, and you need to save it here as your address. So this is where you are actually hitting. Even if your Israel in local, this is just a definition that how your message you are defining. This is just your definition. But where you are hitting in this URL, where your service is exposed. So if you now call this API after the deployment, then internally, even if you are referring the WSDL for definition, it will go to hit that service which is deployed in Cloud Hub. Any question? Yes. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay. Okay. So now once it's deployed, then you will be able to save here. So this is I have not deployed actually. This is not deployed into Cloud Hub. This I will show from local. Okay, I am already running this one. So let me close this one. So once you actually configure your consumer message in this service consume, this section will be automatically generated. Okay. And here you can definitely define your payload. So what I did to make your life easy, just to make my life easy for the mapping, I just imported XML JSON file here, and the structure got generated, and I just drag and drop. So if you do drag and drop, you will see this namespace things. This path will be automatically created. Okay, this is now deployed. So whatever I have done is, so suppose I have this XML, I actually reading already here. Yeah, name, city, postal code, country, everything I'm reading. So if I hit this service, I am hitting the cloud of service now. So you see, I am getting a response. Okay. So in my cloud of log, I hope I have logged it. So see this. Okay, this is for 7 minutes ago. Hey, you can see this now. So that means your service is being getting called. Okay. All right. So this is what I had currently. Anyone have any question? What can be some cases and some use cases where we should consider using SOAP over REST? Okay. So suppose you are integrating with a system which is currently not using REST service. There are many applications still, big enterprise applications. If we think about, suppose you are creating a function in SAP, okay? Definitely there are certain connectors in Mule that you call that SAP service, that function. There are some options, but you can create, you can call through web service also. So if you create a BAPI function in SAP service, actually that is creating a SOAP service, okay? So there are big enterprise applications which is still not using REST service. There are a lot of legacy customers still using SOAP service. So if you integrate your application with that application, if they are not exposing REST, you have to use the SOAP service. So that's why you need to know. It is not only the security consideration, because REST is now you have your network, there are SSL very much secured, okay? Not only that security. Okay, so REST is newer. Okay, you can say after 2010 it started, people are started practicing REST. Okay, before that most of the cases are WSDL based or service based. Nowadays after 2020, I mean, you hardly see SOAP service, but there are very big enterprise client. If you want, you will still see SOAP service, and we get lot of requests for SOAP service consumption. Okay, not only they told you to expose your SOAP to consume their SOAP service, they will tell you to expose your SOAP service from your SOAP. They will not able to actually consume your REST service. So for those cases, you need SOAP service. Okay. So Archana asked how we can change the localhost detail in the API running on Cloud Hub. So Archana, I showed you that your Cloud Hub URL need to be changed with your address location is web service consumed. So is your question is answered or you need more things? Archana, is your question is answered while showing the demo? Okay, after we create a target XML payload, can we validate it using same XML files that you used in WSDL in XML validator? Definitely you can validate. Okay, so you can like the way you do for REST, you can do for SOAP, and you can discard your message if that is not correct. Okay, Mule uses validator, and there are tools where you don't need to do it at all. So I worked all those. If you are sending something which is not in your XSD, it will directly send you error. Okay. All right. Okay, so I think we are good. If there are no other questions, we can wrap up. Is that fine, Anjali?
Yeah, sure, Shamba. Thanks for a wonderful session. And I would like to share personally, I learned a lot from this session
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
hope everyone was able to take the most out of the session. Yeah. So if there are more, there are not any question. Okay. So we can wrap up this session.
Okay, thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, Shampa. And last note, like the recording will be shared over the same meter page group within the 24 hours
All right.
to the views of chapter.
Yeah, you can directly go to the MuleSoft Faridabad site, and there you can see the recordings or pictures. We will also post on the LinkedIn, so you can see it from there. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining the session and making it interactive.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye
Thanks a
bye.
lot. Bye.
Bye. Finally, you can